Hello everybody!
Welcome to Rainy Day Let's Play. I'm Solon and this is Jelly No Puzzle. And by the name, it is a puzzle game. Unfortunately, it's entirely in Japanese. It is also only on the PC. It's a downloadable game, but you can get it for free. Just go to Free Indie Games. It's one of the top things right now. I've got the link in the description for this exact one. And it is a very hard puzzle game. You can kind of see here that I've got one, this is a save file, and these are all different save files. It's a very simple, even though it's all in Japanese, it's such a simple game that anyone can really pick it up and go for it. It's in beta right now, so they're still working on it, that's why the only language available is Japanese. But I've gotten some of the way into it. Unfortunately, it's very, very difficult, despite how simple the game is. All the instructions are in Japanese, which is awesome and quirky because I like to have a quirky Let's Play. Not because there's anything inherently quirky about Japanese language, but the entire game is just moving blocks around. You saw we had two pairs of blocks, and they each have a brother and a sister kind of thing going on. And you can move them by clicking on them. You left click to move left and right click to move right, and that is the entire game. So it is just a total block pushing sim puzzle game, and it is intense. These puzzles only have one solution, pretty much. I mean, as far as I could tell. I found a few that had some variance, but it is almost entirely the most difficult and contrived solution is the solution to the puzzle. So you can, I mean, I probably spent about half an hour on level 1, and that was the moment when I was like, alright, you own me for today, puzzle game. And so, it basically involves just using all of your basic puzzle solving skills, like working backwards and breaking the problem into pieces and all sorts of things. But, I mean, it's basically just moving blocks around. But you can see there's some little strategies to it that you pick up as the game progresses. So like here's one where I can cross these planks, or I can cross these little gaps in the road here with building this like plank-like structure. Kind of like using it as a magic carpet, and I can ferry other blocks around the area. So that's 2 levels in. Unfortunately, even the solutions that seem like really contrived solutions, not necessarily the right way to do it. And there may be a even more complicated and contrived way of doing things. So like this puzzle, for example, looks like it's something where it's like, oh, I can just push these around, have this drop, blah blah blah, and then kick it. No, you cannot kick it. Instead, it involves a lot more working around getting this block into the rightmost position so you can drop this yellow block in, and that's step 2, pushing it all the way to the side, step 3, step 4, and then you're finally done after doing all that. So I know I'm kind of spoiling, giving away these puzzles, but unfortunately they get harder as they go on, and there's a lot of them. And so this is not something that will simply be accomplished in even an evening, or if it even is at all. It's a very, very simple game with a very complex level of intensity to it. So like this level involves ferrying blocks all over the place, and then also not knowing when to not stick blocks together as they warble and garble around the stage area. And this is something where it's like, oh look, I'll just kind of put blocks together, no big deal, whatever. No, it's a little more complicated than that. So this is something where now I have to find a way to get this L block over to touch this block over here. But I can't connect these two together, because once I do, Oh, now we got problems. This goes under the umbrella of knowing when to stick them together and knowing when to keep blocks separated. Because now we can use this vertical piece to magic carpet the green blocks together, and voila. Here's another one where there's a lot of these times when we have the strategies to this game is kind of complicated and goofy, but also really amazing. We have these moments where there'll be blocks on top of little pillars, where it looks like the idea is that you have to fall down the corridors. And that is true. Usually it's like a cherry on top kind of situation where the last thing you're going to do is drop a block down a corridor. Which means I can't touch this piece, and I can't touch this piece until I have a very specific thing that I want to do with them. For this one, the entire puzzle hinges around this blue block, and getting this block into this area, because this block, the rightmost blue block, cannot move anywhere. And so, breaking this apart into pieces, the second thing that we need to do, the second to last thing we need to do, is find a way to get this blue block right here. If we can get it right here, we can take the next steps to get it down over here. So, starting right away, this was the original position of everything. I'm going to try to move the green block all the way to the left. And this gives us a place where we can create the first steps of a magic carpet. Oh, you know what? I screwed that up. We're not making a magic carpet, we're making a big vertically telephone pole. So, see how dropping... Oh, shoot! Hit the wrong button. See how dropping that on top of the... at the right moment was exactly what we needed to do? We're using all of the space provided to us. And now we have exactly what we need. Now it's in the hole. Turns out that that blue block was not the last step, but the second to last step. So a lot of this game also has to do with subverting your expectations. Speaking of subversions, now we have a new mechanic in town. These blocks are chained to the whatever, and so because they're chained to the whatever, they can't move. Instead, we're going to have to find different ways to move about. Oh. So, see how this is on a platform? This is another one where it's like, alright, we're going to need to make sure we drop it on top of something very specifically. This is going to be a level that involves using 2 different magic carpets at the same time. And then also, if I were to just drop this right in here, this would lay flat, and once I move this down, it wouldn't touch this. So I need to make sure that I find a way to build this up so I can touch it. And so I'm going to take a little pre-planning, drop it in like that. Boom, everything matches together at the exact same time. This one's a little bit more tricky though. See how we have this nice symmetrical grid that we're working with? 2 green blocks on one side, 2 blue blocks on the other. We're trying to make like these vertical pillar-esque things, which works perfect, except now all of our blocks are on this side, and this is not going well. So, we're going to have to improvise. First things first, we know we're going to have to get a block over on this side. But instead of also dragging another block to the opposite side, you know, maintaining symmetry, we're actually going to destroy our symmetry and create a moving carpet. And so we're going to kind of use this like sandwiching technique to drag that baby over there. Oopsies. Then I can drop this on top of that. And voila, it's another one that it really subverts those expectations that you have when just looking at the puzzle straightforward. Finally, it's introducing to us one more mechanic, and that's this block down here, which does not have any partner of any kind. So it's just a block that we can use to move around. Super simple. Anyway, this is a puzzle that involves 2 blocks and just pushing them to the other end. It's as simple as that, except as simple as that is a lot more complicated than it actually is. First things first, we're going to just huck this into the pit of blue, which hopefully we're going to just make this into a big blue pit. And then we're going to keep this red block on this edge, and we're going to bring it over, and that's the game, right there. You can celebrate, level 9's over, super simple. Here is where everything falls apart for me. This is the 10th level. This is the level that I honestly do not have a clear solution to. Oopsies, that's already wrong. Trying to work out whatever this is supposed to be has just given me the last, like, 2 hours or so of frustration. But it's kind of cool like that. There's just so many different, like, things going on with this level that I just can't make heads or tails of it. All of my previous methods don't have the same effect on this level. Unfortunately. I do know that once I get these connected, if I could get this pink block somehow onto this here, that's the end of the match. That's where this level ends. Getting that onto either here or here while maintaining keeping the green block through its path, I don't know what I'm doing with that. So that's kind of left to you now. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I would absolutely recommend playing this game. It's absolutely brilliantly put together. The puzzles are designed fantastically. The music's beautiful, and you got this cool dancing guy in the background. There's tons more levels after this. As we can see, I'm only up to level 10. It looks like we've got space for about 30 levels or so. Farthest I've seen anyone else get, including the people who post this, is about level 16, so definitely got your work cut out for you. Anyway, thanks for watching, and good luck!